What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Quantic Dream's Star Wars game. I've talked about this actually quite a bit, mainly on my second channel, funny enough. I don't really know if I've ever brought it up here, but I want to talk about if it's going to be announced, officially and formally at the Game Awards 2021. So another Game Awards video, and this being a game that it's kind of off the beaten road. You talk about the WB Games ones, you talk about Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and this is one. So I guess to catch people up, right? We have, I would say, pretty solidified, maybe not concrete, but pretty close evidence that, Quantic Dream is working on a Star Wars game. The additional stuff has happened more recently. Again, I actually covered it on my second channel. Jeff Grubb has talked about, just as a rumor, he said it's a rumor, but it could be taking place in the High Republic era, and it could be called, I believe, Star Wars Eclipse was its name. So, maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't, but we do, I think, have a really good idea that Quantic Dream is, making a Star Wars game. So, again, the question would be, when do you show something like that off? Do you do it at the Game Awards, or do you do it, somewhere else? I have seen even some insiders say that it's definitely possible that this is when, they're looking at it. I've also seen people say the same thing for Amy Hennig's Marvel game, which I'm recording this one first. I'll probably eventually do, a video on Amy Hennig's Marvel game at the Game Awards, but I think both of them are really, okay, so again, you look at what Jeff Keighley's talked about in terms of the Game Awards, right? What he kind of wants to accomplish, games that we've already seen before, games that come out in 2022, 2023, but also brand new games in the double digits, right? Maybe 10, 15, somewhere in that range of brand new games. I mean, I think that, something like this, to have a little bit of Star Wars representation, sprinkled in to the show, I feel like it makes sense. We also, a couple things to note, right? Obviously, you still can't release a Star Wars game unless you're EA, I believe, for the next still full year, right? Because the contract ends at the end of next year. So just like Ubisoft's one, just like any one that would, happen or be announced, you can't release it next year. But that doesn't mean you can't talk about it. Now, the difference is all of the, any rumblings of Star Wars or any confirmations of Star Wars games so far have never been in-depth looks at them. And you could say the Game Awards is kind of a place where you would, and by in-depth, I just mean even like a trailer. Granted, Jeff Keighley has done, even with like Dragon Age 4 before, right? A lot of like concept art stuff, a lot of like talking to developers. So he has done stuff like that before, and maybe you could do something like that with David Cage or, somebody in Quantic Dream and Quantic Dream just as itself, right? I feel like that's where we would maybe be at, but you have to also think, okay, while the game can't come out, next year, obviously it can still be worked on, and unlike maybe Ubisoft, I think Quantic Dream actually maybe has a couple steps on them in terms of progress. It's been quite a few years since Detroit Become Human. If you can believe it, the game is approaching 4 years. In April of 2022, it'll be 4 years. So the game came out April of 2018. So, did they start Star Wars the day after? No, but chances are they've been working on Star Wars for, 3-ish years at this point. I feel like the game would probably be not just in a state to show, but also kind of a classic example, or an example we may see as classic, as a game that, or a Star Wars game that's going to release relatively early in this new era where EA loses, because there's, I think, a question there of when EA loses that Star Wars license, exclusivity one, right? Do we have to wait like 2-3 years before we start getting these Star Wars games? Or can some happen like literally right away because they've been working on it, for years? I think Quantic Dream's game is an example of maybe that one, right? That because they've been working on it so long. So again, why do I say all that stuff? Well, that really goes to the Game Awards. Is this a game that releases in 2022? No, actually, I think factually that's impossible. So, you go to 2023. But Jeff Keighley has said, 2023, that's an era, or that's an area, or an era technically, right, of where you could have a game releasing that would, be shown at the Game Awards. And then you also have that it's a brand new game. Again, some people know about it. If we saw it, we'd be like, oh, sweet, like we finally get to see it, but we knew that they were making it. So I think it would check a lot of boxes. It would be really cool. I'm very excited for it. I know Quantic Dream's got a thing specifically in the game's media. I don't love them, and David Cage obviously has some stuff that goes on with his own personal stuff, but I think they're a very talented developer, and I think they would work really, really well with Star Wars. So I'm definitely willing, to give them a chance. I hope it's there. I feel like, in terms of games that are even the tough thing is like a game like BioShock. I don't know why that's the first one that came to mind, but like we know they're working on a BioShock game, not Quantic Dream, but like in general. And like But like that would still be a new game. So like if you announce a new BioShock game, like that's a new game, and that's 1 out of 10 to 15. Say that now you slash. You'll probably have some indies. You'll have some middle tier games. You'll have some bigger games. So you don't have obviously infinite room to do all these things. But I feel like Star Wars would be a really big one. It would check a lot of boxes for for what they would be willing to show. So I think it's a good possibility that it's there. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think it's there? Do you think it's not? As always, well, number 1, make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. But number 2, I will be co-streaming the event. This is the first time you've ever seen my channel. I will be, we'll be co-streaming Jeff Keighley's show. Be making videos. I already have made a lot of Game Award videos, so many more to come, and we'll watch it live together on December 9th. If you guys want to follow me over on Twitter or subscribe to my second channel or support us on Patreon or YouTube memberships, links for all of them are in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.